And hello and welcome to Kelowna Now live streaming show. Now we're talking. I'm Jason Mann. This is Jim Check. And this is our second live stream show. The first one is really a test more than a show, I'd say. But today we have put together a bit of a show for you. So what we want to cover today is the top 3 headlines ripped from the pages of KelownaNow.com. We'll talk a little bit about that. Check out the weather forecast, which is really important with the fire activity that we're seeing there, and maybe a bit of a white surprise for some of us. We're going to talk about saving money. Money's very in short supply, you might say, these days, or in big demand. And so we'll talk about some money-saving hacks towards the end of the show. We're going to give away some mugs, and we have a bit of a surprise that we're going to talk about with respect to vehicles towards the end of the show as well. So, Jim, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I think this is a good lineup. This may be the format we go with. We'll see how it goes. Love to hear your comments and feedback. Marcy is back there along with Nick, and if you have any comments, just shoot them into the thread of Twitter or YouTube, and if they're worth repeating, Marcy will repeat them.
Yeah, and actually, maybe now's a good time to mention this. If you are watching, we'll mention this a few times throughout the show, and you do place comments in the YouTube or Twitter comments fields, you could win a pair of mugs. So we're going to give away 2 sets of mugs, one to a Twitter audience and one to a YouTube audience later on today. So let's get into the headlines. Glen Lake Fire obviously advanced quite a bit yesterday. It was quite a concern. Today, miraculously, because it wasn't even in the forecast until recently, we've had a little bit of rain. The winds have died down a bit, and despite
Humidity's higher, so that helps too. Helps the firefighting efforts. So hopefully the weather, as we're into the latter part of September, makes it a lot easier for the firefighters, and we have fires that not that volatile as they were on like this past. What was that? The fire started on, was it Sunday?
Yeah. And we had temperatures up around 28 degrees, and of course those high wind
and high
conditions.
winds. The winds are what's the scary part for sure.
And I don't think we've seen a fire though, a wildfire this late in the season.
It is late for sure.
Yeah. Now that said, some less concern today. The fire is now about 6 kilometers west of Peachland. It started about 15 kilometers west of Peachland, so it's advanced about halfway. With the calmer conditions, we'll see what the day brings, but we've got some rain in the forecast, and we'll talk about that shortly. But in the meantime, Peachland is open for business, so maybe that's also important. We know we have some businesses.
Yeah, we want to stress that throughout the Okanagan Valley. Peachland's open, Kelowna's open, so yes, all of our, we were hurt this year with that travel ban, and I think a lot of people thought that it was closed down. So if you're thinking about visiting the Okanagan, now would be a great time. And if you're living in the Okanagan, now would be a great time to go out there and spend some money and help some of these local businesses out as well.
Next headline, this is really your area of expertise. With your accounting background, maybe you can help help us understand a little bit about what's going on with finance. Bank of Canada said that the inflation rate was a little higher last month,
Well, that's Stats Canada that says it, but Bank of Canada might make their decision harder when they talk about a rate hike, possible rate hike. Inflation rate is higher than what they expected. I think they expected around 3.7. It came in at 4. But maybe it might be related to the energy costs as oil starts going up again. The carbon tax, all that stuff's related to energy. Everything we do, everything we eat, everything we consume, drive, wear,
doesn't it
all
just
related
compound?
to energy. Yeah, even the Bank of Canada now says the carbon tax is contributing to inflation. Mm-hmm. So maybe if we ease off on that, or just like cut it, like some governments in the States and some places around the world are actually cutting their taxes on gasoline, whereas we're increasing it, which seems odd.
Yeah. That is worth a discussion down the road. I could see a whole show.
That's a longer discussion because, increasing energy prices, it obviously relates to everything because we live in the second largest country in the world, land mass wise, and we got to truck stuff from coast to coast. And then, like farmers use diesel, trucks use diesel, super tankers use diesel. I think we touched on it a little bit last time too, but if you're going to increase the prices of energy, it's going to actually flow through everything we do.
Well, even the plastic bags that you buy, or even if you're not buying plastic bags, the bags that are wrapping your food or whatever, right? All of that is related to oil.
All of energy, right? All energy. Yeah. Everything you everything you did this morning to get here, everything you did to get ready. We're sitting here, we're using energy.
Yeah.
It's all related to energy.
Next headline. It's a little late for a fire and a little early for snow, isn't it? We've got some white stuff expected up at Highway 97C. I guess that's a reminder about tires. Then.
Yeah, so tires are needed to be used in the mountain passes of October 1st, I believe, and that goes into, I can't remember the exact date. I think it's March 31st or something like that. But October 1st is when you're supposed to have your snow tires on if you're going to use the mountain passes, and that includes if you're going to Calgary through the Golden Rogers Pass, or if you're going to Vancouver through the connector or the Coquihalla. So good reminder to get those snow tires on. And snow tires are great even in town, like all season tires. Definitely not great for snow.
All right. And speaking of which, let's take a look at our weather forecast for ATB Wealth. We do have some snow flurries on the way, about a 60% chance of those flurries materializing up at the higher elevations. Up above about 1,700 meters, you can see the white stuff. Down here in the valley, we've already seen some rain down on the streets, which is great, and that is obviously helping out with the fires, the Glen Lake fire and the rest of the complex that's been on fire this year. And then for tomorrow, we are expecting mostly sunny day and around 20 degrees. Pretty seasonal for this time of year. September truly is one of my favorite months in the Okanagan. I don't know about you, but that's what the weather forecast looks like for the next couple of days, and it'll be a pretty nice weekend, looks like, up ahead as well. So in the meantime, we'll take this rain and enjoy the benefits of that up in the fire districts. I guess we could use rain everywhere this time of year. Money, saving money. I think we have a clip here, if we can bring it up. The pain is being felt. The pain is real across a large portion of the population. I think really now it's those who just have a lot of excessive extra wealth that are maybe not feeling it at the grocery stores, and maybe aren't looking at their receipts, quite as discerning as some of us. But it really seems like more and more people, you can almost feel it on the internet and on social media, people talking about the cost of living, the cost of groceries, and I think we have one of those now.
So I try not to complain, but this is ridiculous. This is what $116 gets you in Canada today in Interior BC. This is all I got. I got 1 bag of chips, 1 loaf of bread, baby snacks, ice cream sandwiches, 9 breasts of chicken, 2 boxes of cracker, eggs that were on sale, turkey, formula, that baby was not cheap, 2 things of melatonin, and 3 cans of pasta sauce. All of that for $116. Wow.
All right, so you can feel the desperation in that clip, and she's not alone. I've been seeing a few of these clips emerge on the scroll when checking out social media. So I think maybe some ideas around saving some money. This is not a bad topic, and maybe something we could revisit week after week, different ways, and maybe we could start with one of your favorite ways to save money.
So when we started Kelowna Now way back, what we did is we did a grocery basket, and maybe we should revive that too, to maybe encourage some of the stores to kind of compete a little bit more. So we did a grocery basket with some of the the top stores that people typically go to, and maybe we'll do that again in the next little while. So when I was at Save On Foods the other day, I did see a lot more yellow stickers than usual, which is sale items, which is encouraging to see more stuff going on sale. But like whether you're shopping at Superstore or Save On Foods or Walmart or Costco or IGA or some of the local stores, definitely if you plan your shopping a little bit, you can probably, find some better values. I know that it's tough for a lot of people that are living in smaller spaces that they can't buy like Costco stuff, and you go in there and you buy a lot of bulk because people don't have the storage space. But maybe one of the things you can do is find a group of friends and share stuff. Like if you buy it at larger bulk amounts and then share it with each other, that might be one way to start saving some money. And preparing your lunches and stuff like that. I think a lot of people spend a lot of money on lunches and coming to work and coffee and lunches and all that stuff. So maybe trying to stretch that out, or even there's lots of ways you can. We're going to bring you some of those ideas for sure. And Marcy is probably even going to do some articles on some of the restaurants that you go to find some values on different days. Like I always call it Tightwad Tuesday. There's usually lots of deals on Tuesdays. There's Wings Wednesdays. There's a couple of things that you can kind of do. So saving money is definitely, you're trying to get more value out of the money you have for sure is a good way to look at it.
One idea that our family takes advantage of is fish. You pay somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 to 50% more for fresh fish versus frozen. You can get quite a discount on the cost of your fish supply, if you will, if you go to frozen, which works out fine for us. We're not usually in such a rush to eat that we got to do it right away.
One of the advantages that we do have living in the Okanagan, though, is fruit. So I don't know if everybody's been down to BC Tree Fruits, but you can go down there all year round and you can buy apples. Right now, you should be able to find apples pretty cheap, and apples keep for a long time. So
totally,
if
like
you go
months,
down there,
right?
and they have more than apples. They sell everything, but like apples and are one of the biggest things they sell. But go down to BC Tree Fruits. I think it's just off of. It's in
Clement?
behind the new police station there somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's back in there. You'll find they have a store that's open on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So try that.
Great. So we'll revisit this topic in future episodes, if you will. But we'd love to see your favorite money hacks in the comments today, and of course in the future when we cover the.
I know I made jam the other day.
Yeah.
I went to Oliver and I bought a whole bunch of strawberries and blueberries, and made like 20 jars of jam, and then I've given away a whole bunch of that jam, and in return I've gotten a bunch of stuff back. Pickles and salsa, so you can exchange that stuff with family and friends as well too. So
a little food barter exchange.
yeah, so because obviously I'm not going to eat 20 jars of jam, but somebody's probably not going to eat 20 jars of pickles.
There you go. That's a great idea. Okay, and you could save some money on some pottery now too.
We're going to give away these mugs.
We're gonna give away
So we have a
some.
pair of Kelowna Now mugs and a pair of Community Matters mugs. So we're going to give those away. If anybody wants those, just make a comment, whether now or after if you've watched it. And we're going to try and make this show better. Obviously, we're going to just kind of like stumble away till we get good at it. I think that's our thing.
Yes.
It'll be better every day because it can't get much worse.
Absolutely. No, this is it's all new for all of us, but I think we're enjoying it, so that's good, and hopefully you are as well. And if you'd like us to cover any specific topics, again, just use the comments. We're going to be watching those, reading those, and would love to provide a show that's useful, entertaining at the same time, but something that maybe isn't being done in Kelowna right now, that forces some conversations and some live content, if you will. Next week, okay, so you're heading away at some point.
Going to Calgary.
Yeah, and so, but next week when you're back, we are going to embark on a bit of an experiment with our vehicles.
Right. I have an EV. You have an EV. So, and we ask other people if they're interested too. So, what we're going to do is I have a Tesla Model 3, and Jason has a
Hyundai Kona.
And we're going to try and keep in the same price range. So, my Model 3 was $54,950 less $5,000 for the credit. So
it's about what mine
50
was.
grand. So it's like comparable. So he's going to drive mine for about 3 days, and I'm going to drive his for 3 days, and we're going to share our thoughts on each other's EV.
All right.
And then, if somebody's got a Mach-E or a Ford F-150 Lightning or anything else out there that want to try this little experiment out and see what we think of those vehicles, and you can come on the show and talk about what you thought.
All right. Sounds interesting. So that'll be
any bets on the Kona?
I think, you know what? I mean, I'm a big fan of Tesla, and I think Tesla obviously has had a long run at it. I think the Kona is a good option for some people, but there will be some things about it that I'm sure you don't like, but there might be a thing or two that surprises that you do like, so it'll be interesting to see.
Maybe the color.
Maybe. We'll see. I might find something in the Tesla, though, that I might not like. That would be interesting.
Yeah, there's a few things not to like for sure. Yeah. And again, if you want to be a guest on the show, if you have some ideas, glad to hear from you. Marcy's going to take all those things. She'll arrange the interviews and that. So we're looking forward to developing this show into something that'll be exciting and interesting for people of the Okanagan for sure.
Fantastic. Now, I do want to mention before we sign off, there was something that came across the desk yesterday. There is a fundraising barbecue happening here at the Landmark buildings today. It's starting right about now. It's burger and a pop and I think a bag of chips for $12. So it's going to be the best deal, speaking of saving money, for a hot burger, and they've got veggie burgers and regular burgers. And the money is going to the can't remember the name of the exact organization, but it's for literacy, and they help teach a lot of the new immigrants to Kelowna to tutor them in English. And
Well, there you go. I got my lunch then.
there you go. And that's how we make Landmark.
One of the things for sure that I want to stress is we're going to give away something every show. Now, there's a commitment. We're going to give away something. This time we happen to give away 2 sets of mugs. If you have something you want to give away and get a little plug at the same time, hit Marcy up and send it to us, and we'll give it a little plug and we'll give it away. Or if you want us to test something out, it doesn't have to be brand new either. Shouldn't be broken. You know, not broken would be good, but used stuff is okay too.
There you go.
Anything else you want to add?
No,
Marcy?
but I will add a bit of detail to this. So it is the 7th annual Razor Reader fundraiser barbecue happening today. It's 11:30 to 1:30 at the Landmark District Courtyard. So if you're looking for lunch, that might be a good option for you. Other than that, we'll be back again with another live streaming show soon.
And hopefully better than this one. Like I said, better every time.
And we do appreciate the comments that you leave, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we look forward to improving the show for you.
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking.